whole Nigeria from the Aso Rock, even Mr. President should be very, very careful because he may likely be kidnapped one day if he's not careful. Yes, because in Nigeria as it is, you know whom Sultan of Sokoto is.
And some said it was a Sultan of Sokoto father that was kidnapped. But we don't know how true it is. But on social media, some are saying it's the Sultan of Sokoto, father. What is your take as regards, government attacking Saina village in Sokoto, and at the same time today we saw people in Sokoto running for their dear life. Some even drown. They drowned when they were running for their dear life.
Praise be to the Lord God Almighty. Chukwu kikabe ama udo direge. Ekene otuto direge dranso gina Jesus. God bless you, my beloved. I remember my humble self, one and the only Biafran evangelist. It is very, very good news. Yes, it is a very good news because Sultan of Sokoto now, the news is no longer a news to him, it's now telling on him. The news is no longer a story now, it's now be the one to tell the story. That his own village called Sena or Hayana and Kabonobo. That the thing that the enemy, that these terrorists, that these hoodlums, that these bandits have captured Sultan of Sokoto village. They have held it ransom to the point that Sultan of Sokoto father, allegedly, as they said, based on the question you threw to me, he said it was allegedly that his father was captured as, being the village head over Session village. Now, my beloved brother, and you can see it if you watch the video now, the clue, you will agree with me. If that kind of thing could happen to somebody like Sultan of Sokoto, who can be you in Sokoto State? In Sokoto State, Sultan of Sokoto is somebody that people respect, even in the diaspora of Nigeria. It's an Islamic clergy. It's somebody that Nigeria hold on a high esteem. And if this kind of a thing could happen to the point of his father being kidnapped, allegedly being kidnapped, being the head of that village, but he was there and he was kidnapped and they escaped, that means Nigeria is completely finished and it's not safe, to be truthful and to be sincere. That means Sultan of Sokoto may be the next target if they can kidnap his father and go away successfully. So he may be the next target. And if this kind of people, if this set of people, and if this caliber of people, can be facing this kind of things, can suffer this kind of things in the hands of this bandit or this terrorist. So definitely, the whole Nigeria from the Aso Rock, even Mr. President should be very, very careful because he may likely be kidnapped one day if he's not careful. Yes, because in Nigeria as it is, you know whom Sultan of Sokoto is. The way they take Sultan of Sokoto, even in the Islamic world.
But don't forget that as at one time, it was alleged that the bandits were planning to invade Aso Rock when Buhari was in power. But when Buhari heard this news, he was laughing. He said, this can never be possible.
Yes, Buhari believed that it cannot be possible. Do you know why he says it cannot be possible? Because he was part of the deal. He was the part of the people that brought these men to this country. He was part of the people who financed them. He was the part of the people who sponsored them. He was the part of the people who do what? Who housing them. He was part of the people who gave them roof. Who gave them in fact, the farm, should I use the word, Nigeria to operate as they like. You see why he laughed at that time. And with what has happened now, Abuja is not even safe. The other day I heard, you understand, that there was a series of crises in Abuja regarding to this banditry of a thing. So, Mr. President should be very, very careful. Of course, he has to be very, very careful. If this kind of thing could happen to somebody like a Sultan of Sokoto, do you know who could be the next? And remember, they don't like him. They don't like Mr. President because they believe that Mr. President have stepped on their toes. He have dared them, so they themselves may likely dare Mr. President. You Get what I'm saying? But it is quite unfortunate and so badastrously in such a way that a whole country called Nigeria won't have people like Sidious Musa as the chief of defense, won't have the IG, won't have what is it called, Atayin DSS. They allow people like this to be operating freely, operating randomly, operating extravagantly. So I'm moving free, without, fear. They are being favored in the left and the right, front and back, every corner. They are being favored. You understand? And we have people like them. It means that the uniform men in Nigeria are totally failures. It means actually that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't spend up to a second in DSS custody. Do you know why he shouldn't spend up to a second in DSS custody? Because this same thing here was what they said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started violence when he said everybody, people should rise up and defend themselves. They say he started violence. Please, that which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, which landed him in DSS, is that violence not happening? Has the violence stopped? Simon Ekpan Sidious Musa, he says, is the problem. What is happening now? Sultan of Sokoto, what is going on in your village, in your state, in Sokoto, has been the leader of Islam. What is happening in Nigeria? What is going on in Katsina, in Kebbi, in Kwara, in Niger? What is going on in Kaduna, Gombe, Jigawa? What is going on? Because if I begin to mention the southeast now, it's another thing. They say because I come from that side. That is why I don't want to mention only the southeast now. I don't want to mention the. Did you know the number of people that was massacred either yesterday, or day before yesterday at Benue? What about the one in Plateau and Jos? See, for how long, I am asking, for how long shall we continue? Are you hearing me? For how long shall we continue witnessing this? And Sidious Musa, you are there, pointing Simon Ekpan as a problem, pointing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu as a problem. But the problem is still eating you people up. You don't want to look into the problem and think of what to do to solve it. Then you are pointing evil finger against the wrong man. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu demanded for his hospital treatment. Nigeria is playing game with it. But Tuji Bello and co. and this one that I've kidnapped, was it not the same Sokoto 3-4 days ago that 40 people was kidnapped and took them to the bush? And we have Sultan of Sokoto. In Zamfara State, do you know how many people that was kidnapped? In Borno State, do you know how many people? In fact, we are not talking about that side because so many villages are now in Cameroon. They are no longer in Nigeria. They have run to Cameroon for safety. Asylum, unwanted, uninvited, unwanted asylum, uninvited asylum. That is what they have run to, just for the safety of their life. And you still have people called Sultan of Sokoto. What are you doing? Now it's playing on your doorstep. Let me see what will be your reaction. Yes, as the status now happening in your own corridor. Let me see your next move. And let me use this opportunity. It is the high time that Sidious Musa stand up and face what is facing him. Easterners, gentle is not the problem of Nigeria. Are you hearing me? At all, gentle is not a problem and it can never be a problem. The problem are the people that Sidious Musa has failed to address. And there's no other people than the Fulanis in Nigeria. Than this bandit, Boko Haram, Iswa, Pakarawa, Mamuda, and the rest of them. And all these herdsmen too. They are carrying gun to the farm. I don't know when they started to use gun to correct to shoot what is it called, cow, and that cow still remain alive to move. I don't know when they start to use gun to shoot cow as a means of correction, and the cow still remain alive and continue moving. I don't know. I don't know. So, CDS Musa, you have failed. Yes, you have failed. As a security chief, you have failed. IG, Fagbemi, or what's your name? Yes, you have failed. As Inspector General of Police of Nigeria, yes, you have failed. Mr. Ajayi, the DSS boss, you have failed. As the senior, as the director, as the commander, the general of the Department of State Security Service in Nigeria, you people have failed. Then Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Mr. President, and Senator Akpabio and Shetima, all of you has failed the country. You have failed Nigerians as a government, as security personnel. If under your people's watch, all these things are happening up till now, the only thing you are telling us now is negotiation. You are negotiating with this kind of people. What a shame. What a shame. Then, excuse me, I want to ask a question. What is the concrete fact that after negotiating, that this kind of a thing will not rise up again? What is the fact and the confidence that after negotiating, that this matter will die completely? Take a look at, for example, amnesty. Remember the kind of amnesty that played in Niger Delta. Does it end the militants? Despite the candid of the late Yaradua, does it end the bandits? What is it called? All those militants in Niger Delta. The amnesty that Obasanjo give to Asari Dokubo, by even to the point extent of giving Asari Dokubo garage in Abuja, yet Tomboro rise up. Of which now they have given Tomboro oil pipe to watch. If Tomboro is like, there are other men that are still rising up who blow the pipeline of River State. My brother, this is not the best option. And if Nigeria believe that this negotiation is the best option, then they have to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and apologize to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Seriously.
Small now, no be say you go carry tally. Small ka ba hankali ba ai dole sai kai gudu nan ba. Ya ne? Ya kai lan iska.
You quote them after is the point or fact that Israel is backing Trump on this kind of money budgeted by in the House of Congress. I don't understand. For Nigeria, war against insecurity in the northern region, fighting securities in the south, insecurities in the south, Fulani bandits, they're everywhere in Nigeria now, fighting bandits and Fulani herdsmen in the southeast. I don't understand. Israel support Trump. And I want to tell you that Samoneba has confirmed it. Not only that we read on social media or on the front page of newspaper, but we've actually gotten the intel that Samoneba has known about this. Even Ekpa has heard it himself. Chibi they say Ekpa dey jail, Ekpa no get free moment, na lie. Ekpa said it. And it's a welcome idea because it's like America intelligence and Mossad, Israeli intelligence, agency, they are going to collude together, form a very formidable force to tackle Fulani bandits, killer headers, ISIS, and ISWAP. In the northern region, in the mid-belt, I mean, the headers that have been killing incessantly in Benue State. Of course, recently you've heard how over 400 Benue indigenes were slaughtered by Fulani terrorists, set ablaze their dead bodies. It did not end there. They begin to touch their buildings. Touching, I mean, is setting it ablaze. TORCH. They touched down the whole thatch house, all the buildings in Benue State. It was a very, very serious case. That's why you see Trump administration that has come up with this
kind of policy on the continent of Africa to at least collude with the military, especially in Nigeria, to fight ISIS, Al-Qaeda, striking north. Northern region of this country is a home for ISWAP, Islamic West African Province. Yes, Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP. They have actually made northeastern Nigeria, where Boko Haram was having their stronghold before. Now their home is a home of ISWAP. Don't you know that Mahmuda and Saru have actually captured Kwara? Kwara is a Yoruba axis that borders the north. And their leader was just arrested last month. Have you heard anything about Mahmuda leader that was, wanted by the United States and United Nations? Have you heard about the Ansaru? Ansaru, that was a branch of Al-Shabaab. That's Ibrahim Bandu, the name of the other man now, apprehended by Nigerian soldiers. Yes. They pitched their cells, their tents in Kwara State, and they operate freely because the war against insecurity in Nigeria, the military and the police are being discriminative. The way they are fighting in the north is not the way they are fighting insecurity in the southeastern Nigeria. In Central State, formerly Igbo land, if anybody had any issue that warrants military invitation, the approach given by the military to case that concern insecurity cases concerning Igbo land is quite different from the kind of attention Nigerian soldiers pay to the insecurity challenges in the north. What I mean here is that they are being selective. They kill men, Igbo youths. They set their fathers, their kinsmen houses ablaze. My brother, it is uncalled for. Do you know what? Well, the reason why I'm not happy analyzing this issue of United States approving such staggering fund for Nigeria to use to combat insecurity in the north is that if you allow these people, they will use that kind of money, vote out that kind of money, purchase arms, and start fighting the youths in Igbo land. Because that is what they are procuring that money now for. To go after IPOB, people that are fighting for emergence of Biafra. This is what they are after. That's why they are so strict, so tacit, working hard. I don't know what I understand. Because they have Igbo man in mind. Igbo man, yes, because of Biafra. They don't want Biafra to spring up. That's why I'm frowning my face that if Trump could support such staggering amount, he should send agencies that will come to Nigeria and investigate the war against insecurity in the north to make sure that they face the north, not Igbo land. Igbo land were not terrorists. Nnamdi Kanu is not terrorist.
But that's Fulani.
Samuel is not terrorist.
Bandit.
Fulani bandits in Igbo land were taking care of that.
X-Men.
Oga, if soldiers want to do their work, they will do their work. But we know that these people, these soldiers, the officers themselves, they are aggrieved over Igbo man trying to spring out of this contraption that is bent on annihilating her citizens, and all the components of Nigerian people are subjected to this incessant economic excruciation that has started many years ago. Now it is growing big and bigger and bigger and bigger. When somebody that said, I control Lagos, I made Lagos the biggest economy in the world, why didn't you go and defend it in Cheltenham House in England? They allow you to talk, you did not talk. He said, Joe, talk calm. That's why the man is clueless. You see what Yoruba Cultural Group has come out to say today on social media. They say that Yorubas should not repeat their mistakes of 2023. That Tinubu has no competence. Clue to pilot the affairs of Nigerian political leadership. Meaning that he has absolutely abandoned this region, abandoned Southeast, abandoned everywhere. Nobody is receiving dividend of democracy here. Rather, what we receive here is ethnic bigotry. Babanla, Baba Biga Abada, Baba Ghana must go, Baba Jagaba, Omo Bullion Van, Far, Bullion Van, big money, listen. is for the key stakeholders, key what actors in this administration, meaning all the cabals, all the supporters of his campaign, people that rallied round with him and made sure that illegitimately he hijacked Obi mandates. Those are the people that are beneficiaries of this kind of democracy we find ourselves. A democracy that is bent on nepotism, tribalism, ethnicity, ethnocentrism. That is the kind of people that are benefiting from here. Listen, oh, not me, not Nigerian students, nor Yoruba traders, Igbo traders, and so on and so forth. Now the same politicians. They are the political pigs that are bent on stealing the commonwealth of Nigerians. And Tinubu actually thinks that it's only the politicians in the north, all those ones supporting him. It's only the politicians in the southeast central state of Nigeria. Hope Uzodinma, Soludo, Peter Mba, Francis Nwafulefu, those ones supporting him are the people that are going to give him deserved votes needed to bring him back to power comes 2027. It is a lie. This is an, unfathomable lie. Because the electorates are the Nigerian citizens. And when they come out in mass, what actually transpired in Lagos State during the former presidential election, previous presidential election, February 2023, is going to repeat itself again. If people could come out with that kind of urge and the zeal, they will kick Tinubu out of power. Woto. You don't see how I demonstrate it. Lefty. Watch again. Tinubu and his abada will fly. This is one of the best analysis I just give out beginning of this week. Bordering on my, fiscal demonstration and the kind of script I'm playing now. So palatable.
But we heard that the likes of, just recently, I think that was yesterday, Shegumi was crying out loud. He said what? He said this purchasing of arm, that the government are bringing into this country will further cause division, will further cause more problem to the people of Nigeria. That's not the solution. That Nigerians and the military should stop attacking this Boko Haram and the bandits. He said this is not the solution. The solution is dialogue. He said we continue to maintain this. Do you agree with Shegumi?
Gumi should shut up his acid-filled mouth. It's not an abuse. No, he should shut up.
He said that's not the solution.
He should shut up his acid-filled mouth.
Let you know we give
No,
him chance.
he must actually procure arms to make sure that even by mere reading what government is doing about arms to fight insurgency, Dan Aliero, Tojibelu, some of them, most of them that are, piloting all the terrorist bandit groups in the north, would be what? Fidgeting and checking. He will be intimidated totally. What are you telling me? Gumi is an errand boy who has been patronizing the Boko Haram insurgents when it mattered most, even as well. He played the role of middleman. Give me my own commission, I'm coming. I will go and tell government what they want. Don't harm me, I'm an intermediary. If I say go, they should go. If I say come, federal government of Nigeria comes. So he should play with me. That was his own arrangement with Bandit in the bush. That's why he was sacked from Medina, Mecca. Saudi Arabia sacked him.
He said that's not the reason.
No.
He said it's just opinion. My opinion on what issues.
No, it should not tell us. The Gumi is not in the position to tell us. We are the one to decide what actually transpired. Warranted his actually extradition or expulsion from Saudi recently. He shouldn't be the one that should lecture us on what transpired. It was because of his alliance with Mamu, Iranian terrorist faithful supporter, that was apprehended by FBI in Cairo, Egypt, en route Tehran. Tehran is the capital of Iran. What are you telling me? Do you think we are daft? We on social media, I'm not a daft person. If I'm not any other person is daft, I'm not. How could you tell me that Gumi will tell me what I will listen to? When Samuel Ekpa, an innocent person, is being suffering in jail. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is sick right now. Nobody. The judge is saying that they did not warrant him the plea to transfer Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to National Hospital. That the petition has been disapproved and thrown out by a court of law. Do you think we are fools? Igbo man is not fool. If Igbo men are not fools, Igbo man is not a fool. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is suffering from all manners of ailment right now, happens to die, I repeat, Nigeria as an entity, I look up to Chukwu Kagbiangme, dies. Nigeria as an entity dies.
Oh, okay, but just like you said Samuel Ekpa, they say the terrorists bringing in gun to the country, blah blah blah. But just recently in Katsina, during the peace part, they were terrorists who ambushed some local government there in Katsina, were openly dialoguing with the government. Do you think this should be right? When
I just tell you that I watch it on social media, I read it on front page of newspaper. What do you think you are going to lecture me, Mr. Correspondent? I'm your respondent. I'm the person you are interviewing, and I'm telling you that Gumi neither could lecture me on insecurity happenings in the north, nor you could lecture me that these bandits Alero, down Alero and the rest of them, Tojibelo, I saw hanging up to 7 magazines loaded with blood on his chest. I began to ask myself, what is the cause are they fighting for? In Igbo land, they are fighting for cause of Biafra emancipation. In the Niger Delta region, they are fighting for oil spillage that degraded their land. Crops on the farmland are not growing. Fishes in their water, streams, rivers are dying. That's why they took up. What are the reasons behind armament of bandits, Fulani headers, Boko Haram, and Saru, and so on and so forth? What are their reasons? They don't have reason. They are fighting for religious means. That is the spreading of what Ottoman and Fodio started in 1904, in 1804. The continuation of Islamization and evangelism, which they use women to captivate or fascinate the Hausa strong men. And the Hausa strong men fell before the beautiful Fulani wives.